Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Justin Fields and the Miami Dolphins taking on Justin Herbert and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida. As a moment ago, the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
This is Leonard Fournette, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 14 carries, 61 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got a top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Fournette, a first down carry. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense. That's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, Herbert. They'll swing this out to Fournette. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches. A week ago, there's another one right there.
Fournette on the toss to the right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He completes this to Sutton. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you...
And a Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So here are the Dolphins now getting set for their initial possession. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll take this ahead for about 4 seconds. coming up. Here's Fields. Buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Now a first down throw, Fields. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
And that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, Fields. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Kingsley Keke in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They snap it to Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, Do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Herbert on first down now. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Second down and 5. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons. 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he stopped immediately there. Eric Stokes in on the tackle. Here's second and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you can see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
That catch good for only a couple.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Looking to throw again on second down. Fields. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Fields on third down. Man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. Now Fields. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Sliding out of the pocket. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are first on the scoreboard here this afternoon.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. From the 35 on second down, Herbert. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. To Sean Wharton, never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. So the 2 teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get things started with a border war, if you will, in the southeast part of the country. Tennessee taking on Carolina. And it's the Titans out in front in that one. Juju Smith-Schuster, a touchdown reception. From there, it's off to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. A couple of touchdown passes there for Joe Burrow. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Falcons seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Meanwhile, in our game, just the lone touchdown accounting for all the scoring. A tight one, 7-0 is the score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Taking it about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Mixon will get it to start the second half. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Back to throw. Fields. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here. On play action, Fields. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Kingsley Kiki able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Off play action. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Throwing on 3rd down. Fields. And that's complete. Albert Okwuegbunam. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he's got this down to the 35.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Play action. It's Fields. Rolling to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And that is not a sight they want to see. Joe Mixon very slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. A shotgun snap. Fields. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the air. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter, drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 30 on second down. Herbert, throw left side, taken in by Slayton.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
They should have put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Herbert now. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Cortland Sutton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each ending in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack, or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
My cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Well, if you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it. What the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks. And
look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And the Steelers are right back in this football game. After the turnover, here's Herbert. That's complete out right to the tight end, Trimble. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Over the middle, complete into the hands of Trimble. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
From the 50, here's Herbert. This one is Slayton over the middle. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Herbert throwing again. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert, open man left side. It's the tight end Trimble. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Toward the sideline, did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Herbert. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
This is caught. Touchdown. Cortland Sutton with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead. So you're not playing that way. You've got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
From the 36, Fields. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the gun, here's Fields. And he will find his man Ruggs. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Being chased out left. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's a give to Mixon. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. That's complete, Okui-Bunam. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And the kick is good. The young rookie coming through like a 10-year vet. And it'll be a good time in South Beach tonight. The Dolphins have won the game. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every
today, from the Superdome in New Orleans, it's Week 11 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Trey Lance and the New Orleans Saints taking on Justin Fields and the Miami Dolphins.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by. For long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Meanwhile, Lance's throw is on target to Duvernay. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Cloud keeps moving.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
They'll roll him out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 8 yards to go on second down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He'll buy some time right, and he'll just get rid of it.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Fields. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time?
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride. He was able to run free after the catch.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on second and 14. Lance. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. Lance looking to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. Now they are back to 500 now. The win last week, their 3rd in a row. The question is this run coming too late to make a difference in the playoff race?
Great question. They definitely still have some work to do, but I think a lot of folks were writing this team off about 3 weeks ago, even some of their own fans. So I suggest you put some extra shots on the old bandwagon because this team has rebounded.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Fields now to throw. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll be out of bounds is just shy of the 30. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they... Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big play there on the catch and run. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Open man is Duvernay. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they are looking at a second down and 6 coming up. Working from the gun, Lance. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Throwing on first down is Lance. A loss of 2 there. Second down. To throw, it's Lance. And his throw is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Throwing is Lance on third down. Over the middle, complete. That's Hubbard. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. Throwing left side, it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. Room here to run. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Gerald Everett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's good to make it 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the first down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Throw left side complete. That's Hubbard. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And Lance now to throw. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 12-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Lance again. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. And Lance going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hubbard. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. From the 29, Fields got a man, and he hits him in stride. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On first down, Fields flushed out right. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry Ruggs, as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, and it's the Bills who lead that one late in the second quarter. The Bills locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we'll head to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. The Browns looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. In that game, level, as they take on the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. On second and very short, Fields. They'll roll him out right. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Now a first down throw, Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Fields. Out left, he's got it to Everett. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 39. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball could bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. The drive starts with a carry by Dillon. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Back near his goal line. Here's Lance. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Dillon now on first and 10. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Lance. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Solomon Thomas able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Now it's Fields. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And good running, going to get this down close to a 1st at the Saints 25. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation. Hands it off out of the gun. And they'll get this down to the 10. 58 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Off play action. Fields. He'll buy some time right. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Play action. It's Fields. Sliding out of the pocket. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And his kick is indeed good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Dolphins have got it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. First down, Mixon. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Fields. Steps away to his left. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
2nd down and goal. Fields. And he will find Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. Ian Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. They have the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, romped home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'd be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't it?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one isn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. So for the Dolphins, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they will head home next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.